And white with the opening move, pawn to e4. And welcome to I Need a Hobby, a podcast. I'm this week's host, Alex, and to my left, he once won a tournament with only using the opening knight to b3, Andrew.
Hello. Trying to think about what is that opening?
It's notoriously bad.
Is it actually B3?
Knight's on the rim, dog.
Oh yeah. Oh, whoa.
To my right.
Save for the pod.
Yeah.
To my right. In chess, his go-to opening is the Queen's Gambit. But when he's hitting on girls, it's more of the Queen's Gambit declined. Chris.
Hey.
And to my middle, he's back on the podcast to try to gain his rank as podcast grandmaster, Matt.
That's right.
How are you, Matt?
Hoping to get there. Just want to call you out real quick. Knight to b3 is not possible.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's where all the pawns are, right?
Well, it's like
The knight-
it's a double.
C3.
I was thinking like a double move.
Jeez.
You're right. That's
Knight to
embarrassing.
C3 is good, I think.
No, it's on the rim.
No,
it's not.
No, it's not.
C1 is.
Wait,
the
what am I thinking of then?
C1.
Knight to
A1.
A3.
A3. Oh, that's
A3,
very
my
embarrassing.
I
I was thinking of. No, what's B3?
B3 is straight ahead. The knight.
Oh yeah,
can't-
that's not too.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking two moves maybe.
All right.
I double.
What I was
moved
trying to
my
say
knight.
is you
That's
put
a
your knight on the
mistake.
rim. Very bad.
Grim.
I
Knight
was
on the
very
rim is
good.
great.
Rim is Rim, yeah.
Yeah, I was waiting for Alex to introduce me the whole time. Just
Yeah,
so
I don't.
could flash
you know
my
what? You know what
chess
happened?
knowledge
Yeah.
real
As I
quick.
looked at the
next
board, I looked at the board when I was of a game I was playing, and it was an already played game as black, I think. So I was like, all right, let me look. And
yeah.
I'm like looking at it upside down, kind of. So I was like,
Yeah,
all right, B3. That's probably it.
Nice. Well, you really
Yeah,
screwed
now
up.
I'm embarrassing. All right, what's this podcast about? It's not about a verbal blunder I just had. It's about challenges, hobbies, and activities. We're 3 young bucks, today 4. We work during the 9 to 5, but this podcast is all about the 5 to 9. How you guys doing?
Good. So Matt, our first return guest, I believe.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow, exciting.
I've done a lot for the pod. I think I've earned my spot here.
Yeah, for those who don't
Yeah.
know, Matt made our website.
Well, more importantly,
did.
for those who don't know, Matt just brought us some pizza
Oh
in
yeah,
the middle of
He did bring us
recording.
some
So
pizza.
the
That's
most
nice.
important stuff first, and also he made
True.
the website.
2 slices of
And,
cheese.
and
And he
each.
corrected my
Did some
blunder.
other things.
What
yeah.
was the phrase you guys used when you asked me to buy the pizza?
Oh, I like
Chris-
I like
Chris,
to say,
yeah, Chris got
we buy, you fly.
Yeah, that's
That was
right.
my
It's
dad
good.
would always say that
It's
growing
good.
up. Like he'd be like, "Let's order pizza on me,"
Yeah.
but you gotta fly. You can't take
Yeah,
it.
so
Well, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
learn
On
to
me,
take
but you
flight.
have to fly.
At that point, yeah, the phrase
Like
is totally
the
ruined.
rhyme is out. Yeah, thanks for the pizza, Matt.
yeah,
Yeah.
no problem.
That's usually what we do for our guests. They have to
We-
buy
we-
us something
yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
We did buy though.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah. But so I'm bringing the pizza over here on my way. I'm listening to the snacks episode.
If I need
a
as
hobby,
was
you
talking
say.
about earlier.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was just cloaked in irony now that you guys are so sure the Patriots were going to win the Super Bowl.
I know. I got
come on.
multiple
Did we say that?
people. Multiple
What was
people
that?
reached out to me saying, because at the beginning I said, at this point the Patriots have won the Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
well, you made some good jokes too. I remember, Chris. They
Yeah.
were
That's
slam
embarrassing.
dunk.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like it was
I
about
am pretty funny.
Gronk doing a spike or something. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Oh,
a
we made our
textbook stuff.
predictions, right?
yeah.
He
No,
said-
one of them was really good though. I don't remember it.
I think it was when he
Exactly.
said that Gronk was going to tackle a streaker.
Yeah, that was it. That was
Yeah.
it.
Sounds
I
about
just
it.
heard that.
I
yeah.
know.
It was
It's crazy that didn't happen.
Mm. Tragic.
All right, well, all right, Matt. Whatever. Our podcast is bad. What do you want us to say?
That's the only
Jesus.
reason. All right, I'm going to head out. That's the only reason I came
Yeah.
on today.
Thanks for the
Uh,
pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
no
would you
pro- no
crown?
problem.
What would you crown best snack?
Oh, best. Well, so to be fair,
Have you finished?
I have not finished.
Yeah,
the
but
board
yes,
yet.
in general, even snacks that weren't on the
Yeah.
bracket.
My favorite snack, I think, is definitely the pretzel.
Okay.
The pretzel.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Yeah.
That's a good snack.
Solid snack.
I'm like a salty over sweet kind of guy always, so the pretzel is usually my go-to.
I'm kind
good.
of with you there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good snack.
How you guys doing today?
Pretty
We're
good.
still.
Still going.
Fans don't know we're still at the I Need a Hobby Pod Summit, which probably
Yeah.
feels like a
Yeah,
a
they're-
borderline month-long activity
Yeah.
for listeners.
If-
But
For the listeners, it's taking a month. For us, it's taking seemingly a few
It
hours.
feels like years, though. I'll
Yeah,
tell you
geez.
that.
Yeah,
Like,
years off my life,
We still haven't
definitely.
escaped this
I
round.
honestly have to get out of here.
Yeah, I did not travel all the way to the summit. I also go to school here.
Yeah, that's right. Matt happens to live down the street, luckily.
Yeah.
So-
Hey, Matt, can you bring us pizza? I'll buy you a flag.
Literally
you guys are
fly-
2 hours away.
Literally, you have to take a flight and get pizza at the airport.
I had to
That's great.
I had to check it at the check bag section.
Sir, no food on the plane. No, you don't understand. I'm flying. In
Are you
they will
claiming
fly
any
bottom,
pizza?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you
Foreign waters.
you could probably check your bag with pizza in there, right?
Yeah, I think
Could you?
You could check your bag with liquid in it.
No, you can't. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, a
Check
check
bag,
bag.
check
Sorry,
bag.
check bag. Yeah.
You think you could just check a box of pizza?
I was thinking,
I think
you
so.
gotta check just a slice.
I think you can check. I think you can check just about anything. So yeah,
Can you imagine
I think
the
so.
slice?
Do you think you can mail just a box of pizza?
Mail it where?
Like put a box of pizza in the mail,
yeah, I think so.
postage stamp
tape,
and all.
Tape it up.
Is that
put a
illegal?
postage
Is it illegal to mail perishables?
Because
For some reason, I think it is.
Yeah,
I
that
remember
sounds-
I have this
Sounds like
that sounds like something Todd would do on his free time.
I have a vivid memory
Yeah.
of myself as a child reading a thing that said someone once mailed a banana.
oh, you can do
Took
that.
a banana,
You write on
wrote
it.
an address, put a stamp on it, and
Jeez.
Dang.
sent
That sounds
thing
like a
across the
bad
world.
version of like the message in a bottle.
Yeah.
You know, like at least that's like fun.
Just
Kind
a
of.
banana.
I would
like,
say
in a
argue
peel.
maybe a better version.
Mm.
I feel
But
like message file, you get some sad sap who's stuck on an island. Banana, you get a good snack. You know,
Or like
maybe bruised, perhaps
You know,
bruised.
probably bruised.
Probably very bruised.
Well, you know the postal, the postage men are. They take their job seriously.
True.
If they get a banana in there, you better believe it's getting there without a scratch.
Now, how about this?
unopened.
I got
Oh, yeah.
at work.
Just one bite
You know how sometimes at work,
for my
or
efforts.
sometimes you get a package and you have to sign for it.
Yeah.
Sure.
The other day at work, mail came, envelope I had to sign for. Isn't that weird?
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
I've never had
that's
that
weird.
happen.
Yeah.
I don't know what was in it. I didn't open it.
Were you doing any sports betting illegally?
You think has that happened to you?
Yes. That's why I only use Bitcoin nowadays.
And the other question I was going to ask: have you guys seen the YouTube mail yourself challenge?
No.
Do you literally put yourself in the mail?
I think it's a thing on
remember hearing
YouTube.
about
I
that.
feel like YouTubers have these weird like
It's like a weird challenge.
they stay
Gotta up
they
each
stay in
other.
a store for 24 hours kind
Yeah.
of challenges. I think the mail yourself one. is
Put
one of
yourself
them.
in a big box.
Yep,
That's
wrap
crazy.
yourself in a banana
That
costume.
doesn't sound like a challenge.
Make sure to put fragile. Huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure.
Yikes.
That does sound scary. Do people do that?
I don't
That's
know.
what, that's what Alex is saying.
Probably not. It's probably all fake.
Yeah,
Jeez.
probably.
All right,
I hope so.
Let's get to the real nitty gritty aspects of our podcast.
Yep.
One of the most tried and true hobbies, I would say,
Yeah.
Mhm.
chess.
Chess.
What do you guys think, Matt? Any input?
Yeah, I'd say
I mean, we brought you on this podcast because you're self-proclaimed chess grandmaster.
Yeah.
That's-
So we
that
haven't
is not
seen any
true. That's-
official documentation.
that's not true.
Yeah.
FIDE
haven't seen your badge.
2500 at least.
Well,
No,
let's talk your history of chess.
Okay.
What do we
well,
got here?
well, the first thing I was going to say is that I think chess is probably one of the first hobbies ever because
I don't know about that.
But think about it. When I was studying, like
You know what the first hobby ever is? Episode 51, catch.
Catch. I was just gonna say that. Catch.
that's true. That's
Or
possible.
run.
I bet I
Running?
wouldn't be surprised if chess
But
outdated.
maybe,
chess.
okay,
juggling.
maybe
We're
not.
juggling.
Maybe not one of the first ever. But when I was like
Yeah.
studying openings, like one of the first openings you learn
No,
as
that's
a chess
true.
player is the Ruy Lopez, right?
Mhm.
And I was looking at like the history of it, and it was like the Ruy Lopez was discovered by a Spanish priest in the year like 1500.
Yeah, it's
And
crazy.
I'm
That
just
is
thinking,
BCE too.
yeah.
Huh?
What? Before Common Era?
Now,
Yeah.
I would argue that hobbies predate names. I think people before they decided to name people, they were doing hobbies. So just the fact that the Ruy Lopez is that already says no, not the oldest hobby.
I guess that's true.
Like
But-
if you said it was by him or something like that.
that's
If it was
true.
the
That's true.
brown-haired guy opening.
That's true. But like to most of us, like some of the first exposure we've gotten to chess was like Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's
right.
true.
But like
Yeah, I guess so.
chess has been around for so long.
You're
It's
right.
just
You can't
amazing.
deny that it's.
Yeah.
That's why I said tried and true. It is
Right.
like, it was made, it was improved upon for years, and then it's just coasted on the
Right?
success of
Mhm.
Yeah.
what it is.
But
for,
It's crazy.
for
I think.
centuries.
Right.
Yeah. And did we all start at a younger age? Would you say because I have
Probably
friends,
not comparatively to like chess people.
I mean,
but
not like for professional, but
Yeah.
like I have friends who were in their 20s. I have friends who
And, like, didn't
don't
know how to play.
They still don't know how to play chess. And in
That's
my
pretty
head, I'm like,
surprising to
in my
me.
head, I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's not that crazy.
No, I don't know. Like
I just remember when
this is dumb, but I picture like not being able to like or not understanding chess to like not like reading. Like honestly,
Yeah,
I
I
feel
like
like it's like a game that you know how to play.
I don't know.
That's a stretch for sure.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
But it's like
yeah.
it's not like they're not smart enough to play. It's
No,
just
that's not. Yeah, I
suppose.
don't mean it as an intelligence thing. It's just like I
and
feel like it's like
there's
you
a
learn
difference-
checkers, you learn chess. Like,
There's a difference probably
Same
to what
thing.
we were doing when you say we
Mhm.
started chess younger.
Yeah.
We just learned how the pieces moved, and we're
Right,
I assume that's what I did at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't until
Yeah,
probably
right.
college
just
where
to
I
clarify
thought, like,
again, I mean from someone of like our background. Like I don't expect like everyone out everywhere like learning chess at like a young age. I just mean like we're just like
But
regular guys here.
the
in
other beauty of
America.
chess is that like you could no matter where you come from, like what country,
Yeah.
Exactly.
how well off
exactly.
you are, like
It's there.
It's-
It's there.
it's not you don't
Yeah.
need a computer,
It's
you don't
great.
need money.
And it's definitely evolving with the times too, which we'll probably get into later. But like for instance, with all the other countries. Like we go on chess.com and you play a game, you can get mashed up with
Very
someone
frequently,
someone
I
from
feel like.
India
Yeah.
in like
I'll get like
2
Eastern
seconds,
European
and then you'll
countries
get like
too. Yeah.
random European countries,
I would say, yeah.
Romania, like
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. It's really
I
insane.
know, I love it. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I get into
It's a
my
great
my
equalizer.
start of chess?
Go ahead, Chris.
So I had a friend also named Chris growing up,
Mm.
and he went to these chess like classes / it was kind of just like an after school program.
Mhm.
So I started going with him. Wasn't a huge fan of the thing of playing at first, but the chess place had blow pops when you got there.
Mm.
So
Chris, come on, dude. We're trying to have a serious conversation about
no,
chess.
but then I started coming for the blow pops.
Yeah.
Then I started liking the game, and
Yeah,
then
so-
as a young kid, I was pretty good at chess for like a 6-7-year-old.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I think it was the kind of thing like, oh, Chris
Dang,
over
I
there.
think
And
Chris,
it-
Chris knows how to move the pieces.
yeah, and that's literally probably what it was.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I think like
Oh, the knights can jump over pieces.
I could play against my dad.
Whoa,
and,
did
like,
Chris just do knight to b3 in the opening? Insane.
like I would play against like my dad or my uncles, and they're like, probably I'm sure letting me win, but they were like, this he knows like the basics of the
Yeah.
game. He know
Yeah.
which I don't know. I think it's a game that's simple. The rules are simple,
Yeah.
so it's very easy to get to that.
yeah,
point.
that's what I wanted
'Cause
to say.
To get to that impressive point, but it's impossible to master. That's why I
Exactly.
think
Like
it's
that's what I want to
interesting
say with chess. Why I think it's so cool is it is such like a perfectly crafted game. Like if you, it's like everything about it is like aesthetically pleasing for like a numbers person, which is kind of weird. But like 8x8, you got like 64. Half of the tiles are, half of the tiles are taken. Right. You have 16 pawns, a quarter of the pieces that like don't do much. Then you have like everything makes sense.
And
you know, like,
what? Sometimes you get blow pops.
yeah,
Sure.
sometimes you
The
have all those-
perfect game.
You got pieces
Sometimes
that
that
can
gets
go diagonal. You've got pieces that can go forward. You've got a piece that can do all of it. You've got one piece that's most important that it can't do much, but you got to protect it.
Sure.
Like everything about chess, like intuitively makes sense in my opinion. And the fact that it's like not a solved game, which means the person who plays first doesn't always win every time. We're like, did you know that Connect 4 is a solved game? Did you guys know that?
Yeah.
Like if you go
You,
first
tell,
in
you,
Connect
you
4,
tell me that every day.
if you go first in Connect 4, you can win every time. Maybe checkers too. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
But chess, like the fact that it's just like so simple but
Yeah,
so
it's great.
complex is really amazing.
Yeah, and
to
even
me.
if you look in like a single instant on a chessboard, like a snapshot,
It's
just
great.
think about how many possible like combinations of things there are
Yeah.
that could go on. It's like I don't know the exact figure off the top of my head, but it's like pretty insane just
Yep.
how many different games can come from like so many different things.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. It's a great game. So would you say your history, Matt, was from Harry Potter? Is that how you
No,
started?
so okay, so I
I
guess
feel like
I'll talk
that-
about how we started. So Andrew and I are brothers. I
Yeah,
don't know
if we
that was
mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So we probably had similar upbringings to chess, but our dad was always really good, and he had.
I don't know if you were that into it as a little kid.
I don't
though.
think so.
You were more into skateboarding back then.
Yeah, with the long curly hair. That is true.
But that was like
that was like middle school
middle
though.
school.
Who didn't skateboard in middle school?
Very
But so our dad would always have these like really nice chess
yeah,
sets.
he had
and
some
we'd
good
just, like,
sets.
Play around. And
That is a cool thing about chess,
Yeah.
like nice chess sets.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mhm.
Maybe that's like a
so
weirdly
Andrew and I
thing,
were
but, yeah.
probably just
No, I
like
agree with that.
pretty captivated by those. So we
Yeah.
we learned how the pieces move and stuff, and our dad would maybe go easy on us, but going easy on us was like still destroying us.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Do you think?
That's fun.
Do you think you should go easy on kids when
I
they're
don't
learning
think
chess?
so.
No,
because
I don't
think
think
so.
when
How
you
you,
said Chris,
like-
he let you win or whatever.
I'm sure he did.
I don't know if that's right because
I don't think so
the
either.
point of the game is to like
Get
is
better.
You only get
basically
better
to
if you
lose.
improve,
Like you have
yeah.
to realize what
yeah,
mistakes you made.
exactly.
And I think even as a kid, you don't realize it, but you still.
But, like,
learn how to
Maybe
lose.
like there's a medium. Maybe it's like pointing out what you did wrong.
Right,
and
right.
then
But as a
letting
kid,
us-
like
I want to play. I wouldn't want to play a grandmaster. And I'm
Like,
just,
Yeah.
just
if
starting.
you're a kid and you hang pieces, I guess for definition, we'll do some definitions. But hanging a piece is like when you move into a spot where you can be taken and there's
Yeah,
no
no
repercussion.
defense or
so like there's no exchange
basically
or swap.
giving away a piece.
You give away a piece. It's called hanging a piece. So if you hang a piece like as a kid and you don't get it taken, then you would be more likely to make that same move. I mean,
Yeah.
it
I
more
would say it's
depends, like-
more important for kids to not go easy on kids because they're at that stage in life where
exactly
it's so
like,
easy to learn.
Their brains are
Yeah.
malleable.
Like they're going to
you
be
know?
a better chess player in the future.
Right,
Whereas
they'll
if
know.
I just learned how to play chess, my brain is
It's
at
like
that
learning a
point where I'm
language.
learning
It's like learning a
everything.
language.
Yeah, especially with chess, where it's like I feel like two of the main things you can do to get better are to play people better than you and to watch people better
I was gonna
than
say,
you,
like-
and like just talk through the moves.
Like
Like I know
analyze.
you guys mentioned on the YouTube
Yeah.
episode, like well, I'm sure we'll get into like live chess TV and everything,
Yeah.
but like watching someone like Hutch play chess it just like having him talk through what he's thinking, and like he's not a grandmaster, but he is better than all of us.
Yeah, he is.
So it's like he still makes mistakes, but maybe less frequently, and just like seeing his thought process, like
and
that
like
will
hearing
help
what
you
he's
out a
like.
lot.
Like there's a difference between just seeing a chess
Yeah.
game play and someone will play a piece, and you're like, all right, cool. Hutch or these chess players will say like, oh, this is advancing my piece towards the middle or
Yeah.
whatever. This is now I'm attacking here. Or this
Yeah.
is opening this
See
up.
what
He'll
this guy's
explain
trying
what
to
his
do,
thought
yeah.
process,
Yeah.
and then I don't know.
So
you
we
put that into
we
your own-
watched at least me, my brother Matt, and Alex watched Hutch and a grandmaster.
I watched that as well.
Oh,
yeah.
did you watch this,
Yeah,
Chris?
yeah,
too?
yeah.
Great. So what they did was they set up their own tournament. and-
Grandmaster Tall, right?
Yeah,
Tall Baron.
Tall Baron. He's a grandmaster.
Which
Or-
basically
I don't
is
know
like-
if he's a grandmaster. Actually,
He's a grandmaster.
So
Yeah,
once
yeah.
I think in the professional ranks, it's like a grandmaster is the highest
The
title,
best,
right? But
but-
there's like international grandmaster.
Yeah,
national
international
grandmaster.
master is like a little below, and then
Yeah.
there's like
And both of
FM,
those-
I think, too.
I think-
don't know.
NM.
Grandmaster
Really?
and International Master are ranks like you could never play chess again, and you're gonna keep that rank for life. Then everything
It's like-
below that,
It's like
I
a
think,
black belt.
Perhaps.
I don't know.
And then I think everything below that is like tournament based. Where
Yeah.
if you do worse, then
Just
you're
like the
gonna
national
lose it.
champion
Lose that.
kind of-
So
I could be wrong about that.
Hutch
I'm pretty
and he would basically get they set up a tournament where it was all transparent, everyone knew what was going on.
sure. And Hutch is just like basically an average Joe. He's not.
Yeah,
like a
he's like
professional
a
chess
YouTube
player or
guy.
anything.
Yeah. But he's he's an average Joe, but he's still like I'd
He's
say
good.
above average at chess.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say we're all like average at chess, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hutch is definitely better than us, but yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like I could beat anyone who knows, not anyone, but like people who just know the rules of chess. Like I would beat them because I have tactics, kind of.
Yeah,
but like when
definitely.
I get matched up with people my level, I'm not anything special.
That's true.
Anyway, but they would do this tournament where the Tall Baron would like whisper into Hutch's ear basically and tell him
He would not whisper.
talk regular volume. And he would tell Hutch what moves would be like beneficial. Like, okay, so
Right.
you should develop. What was
Just getting tips. Yeah.
develop
Develop your
with
pieces.
tempo.
Yeah. Develop with tempo
is
towards
the
the
big
center.
move. So developing your pieces is like originally you have a bunch of pieces in the back rank. Developing your pieces would be moving them to a spot where they're more active on the board. So even if it isn't like like a winning move, like you're not thinking like 3 moves ahead, like and then in 3 moves I'll move the bishop here and take this piece. You're just moving it to a square that is more active, more on like
Right.
the long diagonals
when
is
you-
one thing, like
yeah.
a dangerous spot
Yeah,
for the
'cause
bishop
trying
to
to
be.
When
control
you
the
think about
center.
it,
Yeah,
if,
the
if
game
your
takes place in
queen,
the center.
if your queen
Yeah.
is in the center spot, it can go to so many pieces.
Yeah.
Versus if it's behind all the pawns, it can go literally no.
But
Yeah,
girl,
that's-
if you're
that-
putting your
that's another
queen
thing.
in the center
But
that
just-
early,
yeah.
my God,
Yeah.
that's a
Still
disaster.
risky. But you're
Chris.
right. You're
But
right.
it's just
It's
that's
the same thing.
that's
Like
kind of the
like-
thought process.
So it would be cool to like listen to this guy who's a grandmaster, like give someone who's a little better than me tips on how to like win games, and they would beat. I mean,
But
it was a little
you
cheap because
kinda-
he would like
Well, but-
tell him the exact moves
No,
sometimes, but
sometimes, but like initially,
they were able to beat
I
a
think
lot
they
of
got
good
a
people.
little tired down the road because then he would just start telling him the moves. But
Yeah.
initially, he was like, he wouldn't say like, "Oh, move your knight to C3 or anything."
Yeah.
He would say like,
Develop
"All
a
right."
tempo.
he would ask him like 3 questions. He'd be like, "Does the opponent have a
Does he-
threat?
does
Like,
he have
is
a
he
threat?
attacking one
Yeah.
of your pieces?"
Mm-hmm.
And then like,
'Kay.
if so, you have to like defend it or react to it. And like, if not, then like, what's your least
Right.
well positioned
Mhm,
piece, and like try to improve it. So like,
And tempo is like if you could force them to make a move off of your
Yeah.
move, basically
Yeah.
put a
Te-
threat.
Tempo usually
Just to
just means
clarify
like
that.
going forward or like having a tempo on a piece is like
you gain a
if
turn.
if
Yeah,
this
yeah.
person doesn't move their piece, they will lose it.
I like to
Something
think about
that.
it like if you start and you put your like knight out in past the pawns, whatever,
Yeah.
Beef.
and then they instantly like put pressure on your knight, or it could be taken, then you have to like put it back. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
bad. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Something
that's
like that.
that's not tempo. Like you want to
Right, but you wouldn't
always be moving.
you wouldn't put it back. You'd move it to another
Yeah,
spot.
yeah,
with
or something
tempo,
like that.
ideally.
Yeah.
So, but what I think, coming back to the Tall thing, what I think is great about Tall is he's saying what kind of goes through his head when he's
Yeah.
playing. But because chess is just this like universal
simple
game,
yeah. in a
his
way.
what's going through
Simple
his
but
head
complex.
is the same as what should be going through everyone's head at every level. Like
mhm.
the difference between the tactics of a grandmaster and the tactics of someone like us, amateurs, really shouldn't be different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like there
which
are
is cool.
obviously different. Like they see, they've studied so many games that they kind of know if they 100 moves ahead or whatever, where we don't. But the actual tactics and strategy should be the same. And I
And
think that's
The-
a great
the
way
goal,
to learn.
The goal is always this. The goal is always to get the king. It's like
Right.
different
Right.
levels
But
of
it's
different
almost-
hobbies could be different, but
It's almost like you don't. That's the thing. You don't even have to worry about the king. You just got to do like what he said.
Yeah.
Is there a threat
yeah.
to develop your pieces?
Continually
get
put
some
yourself in a better
tempo.
It's funny because
King doesn't matter really until
Until
the end game.
And it's funny because like it's just like 3. I think it was just 3 questions that he was asking, and it like sounds so simple, but it's like not simple at all.
That's why chess is
which
great,
is like
in my
that's what
opinion.
makes chess so great is like, yeah, okay, you can ask yourself these 3 simple questions, but like there's so much more going on the board than like, you think. Like you start to think about traps and like
But,
maybe he wants
yeah.
me to react this
All right,
way.
let's-
Like, blah,
let-
blah, blah.
Wait, I want to do one quick thing. Another YouTube guy I watched, if you want to get better at chess, this guy John Bartholomew. He's an international master, and he had like a really good series on like chess fundamentals, which I watched a few of, and a lot of them were saying like think about like strong squares. So this is what Chris was saying earlier, like queen in the center. But even stronger is like what, and then knight to b3. In
Ooh,
fact,
yikes.
even worse, knight to a3.
Yeah.
Knight on the rim, like the knight it's kind of stuck, right? It has like 2 moves basically,
Limits pieces, yeah.
or just a couple moves. But if you have a knight like in a strong center square, and the person doesn't have like pawns on either side, then guess what? Like that knight is going to be really pesky. So it's stuff like that is like how you improve.
It's
I
true.
think.
So like if you take a chessboard and you put any piece in the center, just like any random piece, put it in the center and see how many other squares
it can attack.
and
Exactly.
then put it somewhere not in the center and look at how many
Yeah,
squares it
exactly.
can attack. It's like a huge difference.
That's why, like, you're right, the bishop
Yeah.
on the long diagonal is like is good because it's going straight across the center of the board with like the most squares.
Yeah.
I think that's why if you're
Yeah.
like listeners at home, if you know how the chess pieces move, like before you know any tactics, if that's where you are in chess, then I think the next step to really improve your game a ton is just getting down to those basics.
Yeah.
Develop your piece to the center and try to get some tempo.
Yeah.
And ask those
think
those
about
3
that.
questions.
Yeah. And
yeah,
then your game
develop with tempo. Think about strong squares, but don't think like
your game improves a ton. after
exactly.
that.
But like it's not like I feel like the common misconception with chess is like you're always thinking 3 moves ahead. Like
not
you can't
necessarily.
actually plan. You can have an idea, but you can't plan exact moves because you'll.
Right.
Because like you were saying, like they can do
there's
so many
much
different
that
things.
can go on.
that's another
Yeah.
thing that
That's
I
when
don't
I
know if
found
Tal
like I
mentioned
got way
that,
better at
but
it.
some videos they mentioned that like a lot of beginner chess players, not beginner like just learn the pieces, but
Yeah.
like are just young. It's just
Like
starting
us
the game.
before we started playing, really. Like
Probably,
before we started
yeah.
playing for the podcast, maybe.
They'll understand the basics, but just have one idea in mind. So they'll
Right.
like say they see an opening, a hanging piece or whatever
Yeah.
in a few pieces. They're just going to that.
Like
which is probably a good if you're playing against
Yeah.
amateurs. It's fine. It's going to work.
yeah.
But get down to the basics because one move they do screws your whole plan up, and now
Yeah.
your pieces are.
And I used to do
screwed up.
that too. I would always try to like look for like a quick checkmate, which would like
Yeah.
in one
Yeah.
move it would
Yeah.
be like my whole plans were
Yeah.
gone,
So
stupid.
this is how I feel like the evolution works. So it's like you learn chess, you learn how the pieces move.
Yeah.
So you can
Step
play a
one.
game, you can move your pieces, you know how to capture other pieces, you know how to win the game, basically. And then you start looking at like the beginner principles of chess, which is where I started. And it's like,
like
all right,
rook is worth 5 and stuff like
not
that.
even that necessarily. Like, but that's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, okay, develop your pieces to the center, like castle your king early, like get your king safe, connect your rooks, like all that.
En passant every move right out of it.
What's up, baby?
Hell yeah.
So like then you start to learn the basic principles, but then you learn to like you want to develop a plan. You don't want to just develop pieces. So instead of like just developing your pieces, you're developing your pieces with like a specific purpose in mind. And then it just keeps layering on like the complexities of what your plan is like going forward in the game. Like initially all you know is like how the pieces move.
Yeah.
And then it's
You
like,
think one
okay,
move.
but now I know where I should move the pieces and in what way. And then once you know that, it's like, okay, I know like around where I should do it, but I should think like one level deeper than that. And it just keeps going. And I feel like there's really no limit of how much of that you can keep adding on to like
Yeah.
get better at the game.
And I'd also say I think you can quickly tell when you're playing someone roughly what level they're at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
That's funny.
So we were talking about this app. So we've been playing a lot on this app or website chess.com where it puts you in a game with someone roughly around your skill level based on your previous games, which has been super useful.
Right.
But so I've been playing that, but then I'll also play like with my roommate who isn't very good, and then I'll play with like these guys who are maybe a little bit better than me. But it's like you can quickly tell like instantly in a game like, okay, like my roommate does not think
Yeah.
more than okay.
You know what?
what
I
does
really
this
like
Yeah.
this is like lame of us, but I'd say all of us have done this before. But when we're like watching and there's a so-called blunderfest, I feel like we like giggle at each other
Yeah.
like we're like elite or something. You know, like
Yeah.
oh,
It's like when we-
blunderfest,
Exactly.
like you guys keep missing these moves.
But
And
when it comes
like,
down to it, like,
we're just joking,
yeah.
but like it is kind of funny that
Yeah.
like
But
like
the thing
you
is,
get
like-
good and you think like oh I'm so good, but,
But
like
it's
we're
like
not
if
that good.
there's so many people that are so much
Yeah,
better.
That's the
than
thing.
you.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
someone even a little better than us watched us play, essentially every
Absolutely,
move is a
yeah.
blunder. I was
Yeah.
watching Hutch. They were playing it was, on chess.com. They had one Hutch versus
John Urschel.
John
Yeah.
Urschel, who is this pretty good chess player. He's probably
Also
close
NFL
to,
lineman.
Right, he's probably close to Hutch's level. So it was
I think
fine.
he's
It was
a little
fine.
better, but yeah.
And these guys who would beat us probably every game.
Yeah, yeah.
And all the comments are, "Oh my gosh, this is a blunderfest!" Like, and they had someone commented in the game, and they're like, "Oh, this is like blunder."
Because he was the guy who was commentating was a grandmaster.
Was a grandmaster?
He was a IM, but yeah.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
he's able to like see exactly the moves. But for us, we're watching, and we're like, "Ooh, interesting." You know? But like, that's what's just so interesting. Is like just a little bit better in chess.
Yeah.
Like what Chris is saying, where like. He probably was once at a level where he was similar to his roommate, and now
I've been
just
playing
absolutely destroying his roommate from
Yeah.
just playing a little bit
Well,
and learning a few things.
So that kind of leads into a frustration I have with chess, which I think we've all talked about a little bit.
Yeah.
Is that a little bit better, and it's like a little bit better, and it's a whole different game or whatever. But it's just like impossible to get to that a little bit better level.
Yeah.
Once you get that initial spark of like, all right, I understand the tactics now. Now I'm whatever. I'm X amount better. Once you get there, you're slightly better than the average bear. How do you get better? You play people that are just as good as you. It feels impossible.
Yeah.
That's true. But there's still so much more you can do. Like, I don't know. Do you guys read chess books at all?
Dog.
So-
What? Come on.
No. So think about
I'm
it.
not gonna
Like,
read a chess book.
right.
No, I'm
So
kidding.
like, I learned these like opening principles and
So
stuff.
did you buy a chess book? You got really into it.
I'll get into that. So
I will too.
like you learn these opening principles, right? And then it's like, okay, maybe I should start learning like opening theory, which means like, okay, if your opponent does this move, what statistically is like the best move to respond with in just the opening? Like, we haven't really broken it down yet, but chess is composed of like the opening, the middle game, and the end game. So the opening is just like getting all your pieces developed, getting your king castled and safe, blah blah blah. The middle game is like basically just the precursor to the end game. It's like setting up your pieces in a way so that you can have an advantage going to the end of the game. The end game is trying to checkmate. Or
the end game's usually when queens are off the board.
Right.
It gets a lot simpler.
Right. So like, I don't know about you guys, but when I started learning chess, I didn't study any opening theory. I was just like, okay, let me learn the principles and like try to be good.
Yeah.
And then at that point, I felt like I was decent. And then you go and you learn all the opening theory and like which actual moves you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And even that, I mean, I haven't done it that extensively yet, but that puts you at another level. And
I
then,
think
like,
what I'm saying is that
keep
like
going.
no matter what you read or watch or whatever, it's still like you have to play so many games and like,
Exactly.
lose so many games to get better. And it's like
That is really
I'm playing
frustrating.
hours and hours and hours of chess, and sometimes it feels like you're getting worse. Like
Yeah,
how much are you even
definitely.
improving?
Because I'd also say another tough part is when I have like read stuff on like specific openings is the things that the people who I'm playing against aren't necessarily doing the things that like
Yeah, well, if
because
you're
one
at,
big
like,
thing
at the level that we're at, I guess we're at a point where we're not like that good,
Yeah.
so we might still be playing
Exactly.
players who like do really unconventional openings, which to like a grandmaster they'd scoff at, but to us we're just
That's
like
another thing
I
that's
don't quite know
frustrating.
how to move.
Exactly.
here.
It's like I'll play against someone. Like it's like I almost wish you could have an agreement where it's like, all right, let's just
I'm
each
gonna do this
figure out
opening.
the opening we want and do it. It's like I'll play someone on chess.com and they like try to trick me in the opening or something, and just because I don't know as much opening theory,
Yeah.
I get duped.
Well, but another thing that I'll say is that we play primarily blitz chess,
Yeah, we should
which
mention
is a
that.
lot different.
Well, I
because
got
Alex-
off of that.
Alex
I don't do
yeah,
that.
Alex. Okay, that's true. So like maybe
Well, explain blitz chess.
so
first.
blitz chess is probably what you've seen in like the movies and stuff sometimes,
Yeah.
or
That's
in
true.
like coffee
Typically,
shops,
yeah.
like where
With
you
the
have
clock.
a clock and like I mean all chess games have a clock.
Yeah, so you have
at
a
some point, but-
limited amount of time. Usually it's 10
like
or less
5
minutes.
5 or 10 minutes basically total, and then like you make your move, you hit the clock. The other person makes the move, they hit their clock.
And each person has that, is what you're saying. So
Yeah.
like
Right.
you have 10 minutes, they have 10 minutes. You make a move in 5 seconds. Now you
And
have
your clock stops,
9:55,
and then
and
they
their
go-
clock ticks.
yeah.
Yeah.
And if you run out
exactly.
of time,
then you lose automatically.
So
yeah.
I think it's like I think blitz chess and then just regular like long form chess stress two different things about what it takes to be good at chess. Like for me, blitz chess is more about reacting in the moment and like developing a quick plan rather than
Like,
thinking
actually
like so
thinking
many
about it.
moves
Yeah.
ahead.
doing
and,
all
like,
those statistics.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I know.
I got to the point where I thought blitz chess was making me a worse chess player.
Yeah.
Right, because it's
and that's
like
interesting.
you start sort of at a certain point, you're like, all right, how is this really helping me?
Yeah.
Like,
Because
I'm just,
I
like,
don't-
throwing my pieces out there.
I don't want to
and know what
lose
do.
game after game on like a stupid blunder. That's not
Yeah.
not even a blunder, but it's like they tricked me. I want to lose because I don't know, the game got to the point where a turn 20 turns ago was
Right.
the blunder.
That's why I think
know?
playing both blitz and like what you play daily chess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you have a whole day to make a move. Like mix between those two things. You can't just focus on one, I think, because it'll
I don't know if I
take
don't,
away from
well,
it.
I
I think
think
if you're at the stage where you're learning chess, I just feel like Blitz is irresponsible to
that's
play.
probably true.
Because I'll say the first time I played Blitz, like it
But
was
you're right, if
scary.
you
to
wanna-
me.
different,
I was like,
right? Yeah.
I gotta go really fast,
Yeah.
and then I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I've done like 30 moves in a minute. Like I should probably
Yeah.
think. you know?
Wow, that's quick,
Yeah.
Chris.
But that's the thing. Even with Blitz, it's like you have 10 minutes, but really the opening is going to take you 15 seconds basically.
Yeah,
Because,
if you know
because
it.
If you know it, yeah.
you know your moves that you want to do.
Yeah.
But if you're playing someone who is going to do a completely unconventional opening, then it's like, what am I supposed to
the
do?
thing-
All of a sudden, I got 2 minutes used up just on the first couple moves.
Right. But the thing with Blitz for me is, right, like, I don't know, but I still feel like that helps you get better, even if you're taking, like, extra time. If you're,
I'm
like,
sure
confused.
I'm sure it still helps you
you
get
can
better.
It develops
Any
different
chess,
parts of your game.
Any
I
chess
think.
is going to help you
Yeah.
get better.
But what I was saying is that I like Blitz because, like, for me, like, blundering, especially when I was a little worse, when I would hang pieces and I would blunder, like, okay, so a blunder would be, like, a really bad move. Like, hanging a
It's
pawn
it's
is, like, fine because it's just a pawn. Like, oh, you're down a pawn.
That's still a blunder,
that's
dude.
still
it
considered
a
a
blunder?
blunder a
Yeah.
lot of
Really?
times. It's
Okay.
like when you give up a piece
For nothing.
seemingly no
Yeah,
reason.
okay,
Like,
sure, sure.
We've gone over, or Alex sort of mentioned it in the beginning, making fun of Chris. Like a gambit is when you
Yeah.
give up a piece in order to gain some like positional advantage.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
true,
like,
that's
that's
true.
not considered
That's
a
not a
blunder.
blunder, yeah.
But like if you just give up a piece
For
and
no reason.
seem to gain nothing in
Well,
return,
there's just a mistake.
It's a
Honestly,
blunder,
a blunder
yeah.
could be
Well,
without even
the
giving
point
up a
is
piece.
when I would
Yeah.
play, like, not Blitz games, I would still blunder, and that would be so frustrating because I would put, like, 2 hours of work into, like, my best move, my best chess, and and if I would blunder, then I'd be like,
Yeah.
I'm done, you know.
See, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Whereas
I-
with Blitz, if I would blunder, and the other thing is when you blunder in Blitz, the other person might blunder too because we're not that good, and there's the time pressure, so
Yeah.
you're never out of it. Is how
Yeah,
I feel.
that's
So
true.
that's why I like playing Blitz. However, I completely agree with you in that, like, I do feel like if I was really trying to get much better, I would not be playing Blitz.
I almost feel like if it's pointless if you blunder, they blunder back. That game like is pointless because you
Still
shouldn't
fun.
learn
Still
off that
fun.
game
Yeah.
if you're winning because of a mistake they made.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's true.
It's like, all right,
Yeah.
this isn't making me better at chess.
That's like sometimes I would go on chess.com, and when you'd play a game, you could do like the analysis, which was pretty cool. So you could see
Yeah.
like, so they have like the
that's
computer
huge. I think
Stockfish.
that's another recommendation if you want to get better. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you got to check.
So
out the
after your
analysis.
game, it'll show you did this move. Like, oh, that wasn't a great.
Yeah,
there's-
like-
this was the better move.
Basically, like they've coded this engine called Stockfish that recently was beat by AlphaZero. It's pretty interesting,
Yeah,
actually.
that's
looking
actually
at that.
insane.
Yeah, it's a very interesting like development in like computer science, honestly. But this engine Stockfish is used on chess.com, and it tells you like based on like I don't know how they do it, but it knows like Stockfish's ranking is like 500 to 1,000 points
Yeah.
better than Magnus Carlsen, who's the best chess human,
Yeah,
chess
it-
player in the world.
Call me a chess human.
Chess
I
humanoid.
was gonna say it's probably worth mentioning. Like computers can still beat humans at chess.
Yeah,
like
that's true. Every
like,
time.
straight up every time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So anyway, it tells you like here's where you blundered, either because you hung a piece or because if this person was playing optimal chess, they could have got you in a checkmate or
Right.
something like that.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see like, okay, this is the move where I made a mistake. And another thing I wanted to
especially
add,
if you're playing similar openings and stuff the
Exactly.
whole time. Like your
Yeah.
game's going to be pretty similar for
Yeah.
the first, I don't know, 10 or so moves or whatever.
Another-
So knowing that, like, I would have made this move 90% of the time anyways. If that's a blunder in this
right?
case,
Then
like,
you'd be
But
able
that
to change.
you
it.
improves your
learned
game a
not to-
ton.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to say is like I just think this is really cool in general, but it was really cool. It must have been a really awesome development in like Matt was saying, Roy Lopez or whatever, like 1500. So back then, grandmasters are playing these openings that are validated today with Stockfish as like this is the best statistical opening, and like obviously
That's
they
crazy.
didn't know that when they
Yeah.
were in the
The
1500s.
priest Roy Lopez had no idea.
Yeah, he just like played a
Changed
lot of
chess
chess
beginner's
and like
lives.
figured out
It's like
that
this-
these are the best
yeah,
strategies.
just from what he'd
and
seen
to
while
have those
playing.
like mathematically validated is like really cool to me, honestly.
Yeah, that is
So,
interesting.
yeah, I just
Yeah,
wanted
that's
to
crazy.
throw that out there.
Yeah, like I wonder when it started being called the Roy Lopez.
Yeah, it's like you did it,
probably
dude.
not when he first started.
You think
right?
he called it that?
yeah. He's,
Hopefully.
this opening is
But
mine.
watching like old grandmasters or even like current grandmasters play is like I don't know. There's something about it that I've really enjoyed. Like I just loved seeing like
watching them actually sit and play or watching their games.
commentated games.
Yeah.
Or like quick comment or like quick analysis. Just kind of like seeing like exactly what they were thinking. Like and then like. You know, like here comes like the killer move. Like, what do you think was the move? And I'd be like,
Yeah, I've
thinking
seen
in my
some
head,
of
like, okay, what is a move?
Yeah,
you
they
know,
always
that
say
is-
there's a-
pause the video.
yeah,
and
like
find
pause the
best
video
move.
and
Yeah.
like find the move that like won the game. And I was like, oh man, like it's like sacrificing the knight. Like I would never have done that.
There's
You know,
a-
stuff like that.
There's a crazy video. It's called like, it's like Bobby Fischer wins in like 11 moves or something very quick,
Mm-hmm.
and it's basically just the opening. It doesn't even seem like a fully developed opening, and then the other grandmaster he's playing with resigns
Wow.
because he
Yeah.
could just see like,
just
oh
know.
dang, like I am so like I'm basically screwed if I
Yeah.
keep playing. I'm gonna get destroyed.
Games
It's
that
crazy that they could like I don't know. It's
Mhm.
it's so impressive, and that's a game that's never happened before. So it's no matter what you study, like you don't really know what's gonna happen. Like
Exactly.
you knew like dang,
Yeah.
there's no chance of
And
me winning.
it's crazy too because like games at the tournament level and like really high up rarely get won by checkmate because
yeah,
you
yeah.
just
Oh, yeah.
always see like even if it's like checkmate isn't necessarily inevitable right away, these grandmasters and these international masters, they just see like I'm screwed.
Yeah.
Like I just have to resign.
And it's wicked
But
funny because when we were like little kids, we didn't really know about like resigning. So like I just remember like
Yeah.
playing Matt, and we would
Chasing
just
my
like
king
yeah,
around
like
the
just
board.
chase the king around the board with like one bishop or something. I don't even know.
But at the same time,
yeah.
that's kind of frustrating to me. Like I watched a documentary on Magnus Carlsen,
Yeah,
who's the
yeah.
best player, and pretty much all those games end with resigns or like
Well, a lot of them
draws.
end in draws.
Yeah,
too, which would
draws.
be
Yeah, a lot of
frustrating.
games do end in draws, which is basically a tie. It is a tie. But seeing a resign, it's like I don't know. If you're in a tournament, why not play it out?
But
Right?
you just know. You just
know
well,
that they're
and
that
you, lo-
good.
it's-
The
you might as
games-
well say checkmate at that point.
the
Like
games
you did lose.
like you play like 10 or 12 games.
I guess
I
that's
don't
true,
remember
so
which
you
one
might
it
as
is.
well.
and
So
playing
it's
it out
like-
is like demoralizing.
But at the same time, like I at this stage wouldn't resign unless I like just had my king and there was like
Oh.
you know what I mean.
no, I get very upset if I blunder and I resign very
One
frequently.
time, Andrew took my knight just out of the blue, and I resigned. I was just upset.
He was tired.
That's
yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah,
Like
it's fine.
I
It's
did
like-
too, but I don't know. It's like if you're
Unless-
playing a game,
like, if that was a
I wouldn't do
blunder-
it personally.
if you blunder your knight, like
Right, like
you're not winning that
even
game.
though it's like only a 3-point advantage. Like I just feel like Andrew's.
But I think at our level, at least the games I've played, like I've definitely blundered a night and come back and won against.
yeah, but you're
No, I
you're
don't
playing
think
like people online that are I don't know. Like when I play
or with friends, you know, even like
I think
don't
anyone
know.
I'm playing
like if I was
online-
playing a friend, like I don't
know.
without outside of this, like if I was at a house and we're playing chess and I started playing someone and took his night and he quit, I'd be like, come on, man.
Nah,
This is where-
I'd be fine with
This
it.
is where Blitz comes in.
I understand.
difference,
I understand
yeah,
what you're saying
you know what I mean.
there.
It's like
if
it's
against
kind
a
of
friend,
lame. Because it's not like we're playing in like tournaments. You know what I mean?
right.
That's a different story.
It's just what I was saying is that it's really frustrating to me to like if you. But okay, at the same time, I probably would not resign if I blundered a knight. If I blundered a rook, I would
Yeah,
be like,
blundered
I'd
a
take
rook.
a hard look. You know, I'd probably play a few more moves. But like, it's the same thing. Like if like, why am I going to put all my time in if I'm like for sure just going to lose? Like, if you wanted to like practice your skills or whatever, then I'd just keep playing. You
but
know?
even that, like, it's if you think about like the learning process, it's pointless because chess is not. You don't start the game a
you don't start
night
the game
down.
down a rook, yeah, or down
So
a
you're
exactly.
going to lose 99% of the games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
playing it
different,
out
too.
might even make you worse.
Yeah.
You don't even know.
However, it is fun if you like.
Maybe a knight is a
sometimes
stretch,
at our
but-
level you're able to like get people, and Matt calls it a fool's mate. I don't know if
fool's
it's
mate.
actually that, but it's like where they like are clearly going to win, but they either
Like a-
didn't move their
like a
pawns
back
and get like a
rank.
back rank checkmate, or like just some position that they've just like completely overlooked, and you're actually able to get them in
Exactly.
I think-
checkmate in one move, which is kind of funny.
I think the fool's mate might specifically be like a certain checkmate.
Yeah,
where it
it's-
just
I think it's
happens,
called
like,
a s-
very quick scholar's mate.
Yeah,
maybe?
school or
Yeah.
scholar's mate. That's like a
I'm
fool.
not
yeah, that's
sure.
different.
But what I was gonna say before,
I don't know what you call it if it's like a
yeah,
out of the
it's
blue
probably
mate.
different, but
yeah, what I was gonna say before is that like when we play blitz chess a lot, it's just like frustrating because the game is only like 5-10 minutes long. You can just like resign and start a new one like right away. But if
That's
you're
true.
playing this daily chess, it's like it's probably not worth.
Yeah,
your
it's not
time
worth
to
resigning.
resign.
You're
You
right,
like
yeah.
just lose one piece. But when
Yeah.
you know
I
you're
guess
gonna
that's more what I was
just
thinking,
like
yeah.
queue up another game right away, like
that's true.
resigning seems so easy. The button's
Yeah.
right there. It's like oh,
like if
man.
I blunder my queen, which has happened many
Oh,
times,
yeah.
I immediately resign.
Yeah,
like
happens to the
I'm
best
so
of
us.
mad.
Oh, yeah, dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't even
I think
think about
that's
it.
fine online. Like if you're
Yeah,
playing
online.
online, yeah. I don't know. I resigned to Andrew in person a decent amount.
Yeah,
Vice
no,
versa.
same.
No,
Yeah.
I think that's fair. It's
Yeah.
like I said. Like I think of it more as like, what's the point of playing this game out?
if
You know you're
what's
gonna
happen.
lose most of the time,
Mhm.
and it's like it's essentially a different game you're playing. Like
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then I'm sure there are like tactic and drills that you do. If you look at the point values on the board, like one side is way advantage of the other, and you're still getting the benefits of the tactics.
Yeah, so there's like
so who knows? There's
it's-
pros and cons.
it's not so like concrete where it's like yeah the pieces have point values, like we didn't really go over this, but like pawns are worth 1 point, knights and bishops are worth 3 points, rooks are worth 5, queen's worth 8
But in
or
the
9
end,
queen's worth
nine,
9,
yeah.
but when it
queen's
comes
worth
down to it, you just need to get the
Right.
king.
But
That's
it's
just
like
kind of like
king
for-
worth
9.
infinity.
Yeah, infinity. So it's like
Actually.
yeah you could have like but it's not as concrete as like okay this person is 3 points up,
Right,
like,
'cause you-
they've got me good. It's
if-
like
yeah.
If you got a uncastled king, you can't castle. Basically, one rook is is
it's
is,
like
as,
it
is
can
at a
still
loss.
wreak havoc.
So
Right?
say you're
it's
3
like,
points up on me, but 2 of your rooks can't even be used right now.
Yeah.
still anyone's game.
Your
like,
positional
yeah.
advantage is
That's
huge.
another thing in the John Bartholomew videos is like coordination, which I thought was really good. Like having your rooks connected on the back rank so they can defend each other.
Yeah.
Having your knights in a spot where they can move to like if someone takes a knight, you can take that back with your knight, and then you just have opened the board up and you've kept it in the same position.
Yeah.
Like being able to, like another one is like once again we'll go back to the opening the opening with the knight move at the beginning of the game. If you do that, you're gonna cover up one of your pawns. Like he'll be trapped if you don't move that knight again. So just like random stuff like that is how you can get better.
Yeah. And I'd say like if you want a place to start, a good one is on that chess.com. There's puzzles.
Yeah, daily
and stuff
puzzles.
like that.
Those
so
are
it's
tough,
like
though. I don't know if that's a good place.
or what's the other one? The tactics. That's what I was talking
Tactics
about.
help a ton. I think.
So it's basically like they just they put you in the middle of a game and they say
Yeah.
like what, and you're just trying to figure out what's the best possible move.
Yeah.
And you start to
Or
see
series of moves.
Yeah, or series of moves, and then I don't know. You start to learn like
You start to like
things
see the board, which is cool. Like
because
when
I think that's the tough thing is
Yeah.
like when I was watching that Magnus Carlsen movie, I remember there was this great like just illustration of him looking at the board and like seeing all of the
he's
moves
good.
that all of the pieces could do.
Right.
I mean, obviously but
that-
it basically is how his mind works.
I don't know. I think that's like a weird stereotype that good chess players get.
Yeah.
But because it's more like, I think it's not appreciated how much they like study past games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That
Because
is
not
true.
only do they know what these pieces are going to do, but they know like
What the
how
other person's
past
gonna do, too.
grandmasters have played these
Yeah.
positions.
Yeah.
And I think that's more important to like
That
what
is
you're going
true.
to do.
But
like-
I'd say
Like
to,
that's what really differentiates.
to me
the
that is
Exactly.
that's one of the more frustrating things about chess to me because in that documentary, did any of you guys watch it? Have you
No,
Yeah,
guys
I've
watched
seen it.
it?
Yeah.
He's playing against another the like top guy at the time with Anand or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever his
Anand.
name is. So, and his way he's learning is like they kind of like framed it as like Magnus is just this like kind of like genius. He learns the game. I mean, he plays a lot, but
They made Anon seem like a bad guy.
so
I feel like.
and they basically set it up like him and his crew sit in a room and like use computer programs to like statistically do the best job of figuring
Yeah.
out the best moves.
He was essentially
And
doing
he's
tactics.
just memorizing it. And then so basically Carlson's goal is to get him in a spot where he doesn't like where he has to think versus memorize.
Yeah,
It's like he's
that's
playing an
interesting.
unconventional game.
So it's
kind
like
of.
imagine
Yeah.
playing someone who is literally just a computer, more or
Well,
less.
that's actually a huge I don't know the word, like a controversial topic in the chess world today is because once computers got introduced, like people started like
Yeah.
taking away the purity, and then
Exactly.
that's why this AlphaZero thing is so big because Stockfish is like a wicked defensive.
so that was
like,
the older
yeah.
program.
Stockfish is like this is like very recent news too. This is like December of
Yeah.
2017, but Stockfish is like the best engine for a while, and then AlphaZero comes out. It's basically this chess engine that was let me try to remember the exact thing. I think it was in 4 hours it was trained using like neural networks and machine learning. So I don't want to like try to explain all that because I
can-
don't even understand.
I can
go for it, Matt.
not in depth, but
It played itself a bunch.
yeah, exactly.
Right,
so all it was really taught was like how the pieces move
And
like
yeah,
the
and another
point
thing is
values
that
of each
the
pieces.
important thing, it wasn't given any like opening theory
Yeah.
or studying past
wasn't- it
games,
wasn't
which
given
Stockfish
anything.
did have. Yeah.
And the only thing it did was it played itself like millions and millions and millions and millions of times. And it just like became the best just by learning.
so
like
it knew like
See, that's what I
favorable
mean.
positions and stuff like
I want to
that.
get a fraction better. I'm not going to play myself
Exactly.
a million times.
But
you're not a computer.
But what I'm saying with this is that so then AlphaZero goes on to play Stockfish in epic computer versus computer battle.
100 games.
100 games, and I believe it won 68, I think, and drew 32. Stockfish did not win a
Never
single
lost.
game, and
Which
it was
is insane.
But I've
the
heard
best-
there's some
And-
controversy behind that.
Oh, really? And it won 3 times as black, which is
Yeah.
like, whoa, that's crazy. So
What
what's
I've
the
heard
controversy?
is that the time they allowed or something between moves or something weird like
Oh,
that.
yeah, it was
or
that,
like
like,
the processing between moves or
Stockfish
whatever.
didn't have enough time to like get its best
like
move.
maybe Stockfish
But I
was
don't-
at a
Doug,
disadvantage.
You
between-
lost 100 games, you know. You lost every time. You
yeah,
didn't win a
I don't know if
single
they
game.
redid it.
However, what I was getting at with that is that this was the first time that AlphaZero actually like this is like so exciting for some reason, but AlphaZero played aggressive and it beats Dogfish's defensive style. So it has the grandmasters like second guessing themselves and being like, we thought all this time that like
But do you think that's
defensive is the way to go. Whereas like the older grandmasters would play more attacking chess and there'd be less draws.
Like
and
Bobby
now it's
Fischer,
like,
So do you think people frown upon that? Like that
yeah.
the
Oh
computers
yeah. It's a big
No,
deal.
I
Like
don't
that
think
in
that's-
the
I don't
major
think that's
chess
wrong.
tournaments, like it's decided by one move and like that's how one person wins one game and then there's every other game is a draw. Like people don't like that for sure.
I think people have to. I don't know. I think people have to accept that. Like some of the beauty of chess is that it has changed. Like they put new moves in. They put new the pieces could, like a queen used to only be able to move a few
really?
pieces. Now it can move all across the board. The en passant was put in. Like chess has changed, and that's why it's such a great game.
Yeah.
Allow it to change a little bit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't think people should be upset that computers are involved.
It's just insane to me that
Yeah.
like something trained itself to be the best chess player ever in like 4 hours.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that.
That's why it's a big deal, like in tech, because
Yeah.
like if this thing can do that with chess, like imagine what if people
I
really
remember
tried.
other important
yeah,
things.
I
Like
was-
Also, so
random like financial stuff.
Exactly.
What do you guys,
Yeah,
what
day
do you guys
trading
think
and
about the
stuff.
carryover between chess and other, I don't know, I guess other skills? Because I was listening to a podcast with Magnus Carlsen one time,
Mhm.
and the interviewer was like,
We're at 45 minutes.
why do
by
you
the way.
just play chess? Why don't you use this skill somewhere else? And I thought that was kind of a stupid question.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
he's good at
that's
chess.
annoying.
Like, let him do that.
You can't-
Exactly.
You want to ask like Bill
Yeah.
Belichick, who's a good football coach, to be like, oh, what? Like,
Why don't you manage
why don't you
a
play
business?
chess
Yeah,
or something?
Why
Like,
do you play chess?
I understand that there's a carryover and it like helps
Yeah.
your,
Mhm.
I don't know, processing and everything. But
I think in
I
order
think
to
that's
be
a silly question.
if
that
you want to be
assumes-
the
Yeah.
absolute best at one thing, you can't be splitting it in your
Exactly.
energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing is like I think it is like a misconception that like people who are smart are good at chess and
Mhm.
people who are
Yeah.
good at chess are
Yeah,
smart.
I agree.
It's really just like
it's a game.
It's its own
studying
realm.
a
It's its own
game. Yeah,
realm.
like
Yeah.
studying this game,
Mhm.
these openings. Like you don't have to be like a misconception is like this guy doesn't know how to play chess, but he's really smart. So if he goes against a good chess player, he'll see this move
Yeah.
that this guy's never
Well,
seen.
it's like
Did you
there
see
was
there's
that New York Times thing where the guy was like,
that was
we
so
talked
bad.
about this on a different episode.
Yeah,
where
that
he
was
was
so
trying
bad.
to
Yeah.
take a month to master different skills. So he's like, I'm gonna spend 1 month learning chess, and I'm gonna play Magnus Carlsen, the best chess master
Yeah.
in the
He
world.
got destroyed.
Some would say one of the best of all time, and it's like, dude, that's so insulting to chess players.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the reason the way chess is designed, you
Mm-hmm.
can't take a month if you're a human,
Yeah.
unless you're god dang Alpha Zero for
Yeah.
God's sakes.
Yeah.
Like you can't do that. You have,
There's
to,
like-
you have to put in the work.
In the
to do
Charleston
that.
video, there's a clip of him. He played Bill Gates at chess and beat him in under a minute. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's
I think
that's a great
I think
example.
I read a thing that said Bill Gates like plays chess. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like he
And,
like learned
that,
pieces.
that shouldn't
and
be
he's
that
clearly
it
very
shouldn't
smart.
be that surprising, you know, like it's
Yeah.
Magnus Carlsen, a grandmaster. Like
Yeah.
I doubt Magnus Carlsen could found Microsoft,
Yeah.
but like the point is like chess is still a game. It
Yeah.
takes a lot to be the best, but it doesn't
Yeah.
mean anything about your IQ, I think.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Very interesting. All right, you guys want to hop into?
I do have one more thing I need to say.
Go for it.
And it's basically the reason I came on the podcast today, and that's to call out Andrew.
There we go.
All right. So,
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
this
yeah.
chess related?
yes, chess.
No.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
Chess is basically it's a very respectful sport,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You play someone. You play someone.
Uh,
You know what they're going through. You know what you're going through. You shake hands after the game.
mhm.
Uh oh.
Andrew only shakes hands when he wins.
That's not true.
it.
That's
That
not true.
is. That is. Every time I've beaten Andrew, I've extended my hand. He says, "Get out of here, dude! I'm not shaking your hand." And storms off.
All right, this
That's
is.
funny.
Oh, that's bad.
I'll go over it. I'll plead my case.
All right, I've got a funny story about Andrew. I'll say after this.
This is the same thing with the road rage thing that we talked about in the
Okay,
last
this-
episode. Is I'm a competitive person. I get very upset when I lose. I know this is wrong. All right, just bear with me. But when I lose a game because I messed up and Matt sticks his hand out to handshake me, my initial reaction is upset. I don't want to deal with this.
You
I'm
guys
mad
are
at
brothers.
myself.
You guys are brothers too, so
Yeah,
it's like
so it's a little
slightly
different. It's a little different.
But
So
you were definitely in the wrong.
Yeah,
So-
no, I know.
Thank you,
I'm a
thank
little mad at myself, and I reject the hand. Then, no joke, every time, 10 seconds later, I go to shake his hand. Then Matt doesn't want to shake my hand because I was a jerk beforehand. It makes sense,
Yeah.
okay?
All right.
However, I just need the time to calm down. That's why I get very competitive.
Well,
I'm mad
I
at myself.
gotta
when I
say,
lose.
Don't
Similar-
don't enter a tournament.
You'll
then.
enjoy this story. It's
Yeah.
not against you.
All right,
in fact,
go
it's probably
ahead,
against me, if anything. We were playing chess one time.
Oh wait, one minor thing before that. is
Okay.
that-
Yeah, that's no.
no.
That's
It's about when we play
Sure.
chess. Is that like, I'm pretty sure you just got like one pawn on me, but it was able to beat me. You know, that's because we're such similar skills that was just enough to win the game.
Yeah.
Like that's why it's so great.
That's
I
why I
feel like.
resigned
No,
so
I agree.
quickly
That's what I was gonna
against
say.
Andrew.
That's
Yeah.
why, like,
That's why
if it's a
resigning
night,
makes
I can
sense.
understand
Yeah.
it's
All
not
right,
at our
go
level. So we're playing chess one time.
Yeah.
You'll know the story.
Yeah.
We're hanging out. We're drinking. There are a bunch of other people there, which is important. and
Oh,
Which
yeah,
unfortunately-
I
which-
and I was up on you.
Yeah, you were
I think
gonna win for sure.
possibly a piece.
And I'd say I don't think we mentioned this, but chess has been a hobby we've been doing for a couple months. Like,
Yeah.
And this is a situation that we found ourselves in a lot. Us at like a
We're at, like, a
party,
pregame.
breaking out a chessboard and just being like, "Who are these people?"
No,
Yeah.
I don't think that's wrong. I'll get
I
inside
love
my
it.
ratings, but I
Yeah.
don't even know.
All right, you
So
were
what
up a
happened
piece.
was-
Your king was weak though. That was the thing.
Right. So what happened was I was like at a huge advantage.
I still had my queen,
and
but Alex was at a huge advantage.
all of a sudden I play a move. Andrew plays the next move, and he says checkmate, and I was like, I thought it was one of those fool's mates or whatever you call it.
yeah.
I was like, dang, like, and there were so many people around, and I was winning. So like, I'm sure people didn't care, but I was
Yeah.
like, I felt like so embarrassed. I was like, oh no, what? And then I had to go and leave to pick up food. So like, I was like really upset. Like, I
Yeah.
can't believe I did that. Like, that's so embarrassing. The next day, I got a call from Andrew. Hey, by the way, I don't think that was checkmate. I'm sorry. And I don't know if it was or not.
You know, you lose the game if you incorrectly.
sit in-
Oh, I
Checkmate.
certainly
Yeah.
was going to lose anyway.
But
But it was
I would
bad,
say we
like-
were both. If it wasn't checkmate,
we both missed it. It was like
it's just as bad on
maybe,
my
like,
part.
Perhaps our judgment was clouded or whatever, but like it was bad. Like I felt really bad after because I was thinking like it was basically like I'm pretty sure the situation was Alex's king was in the back rank, my queen was like 2 away from him. You know what I mean? So he couldn't take the queen, but it was like two
It's gonna be hard to
pieces away.
explain on
And then
podcast,
but I think it definitely wasn't a checkmate. Like,
I don't
you
know.
would have been able to move to your right and be okay.
The thing is, I feel like I rarely get mated like that where I'm not seeing
Yeah.
it. We were also playing Blitz though.
It was fast.
And
we were drinking. I was low on time, so I
I-
just was going
I-
to yell out checkmate no matter what.
Yeah, you had like 10 seconds left.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I thought that was just a fun story.
Yeah, it
Chris
was, it was.
accidentally checkmated me the second time we played.
That was-
Yeah, that
this
was
is
fun.
showing how bad we are.
That,
didn't
and
even
I
know.
think
I
that,
didn't even
I
know.
think that also shows how frustrating chess is that I
Yeah.
accidentally chessmated you.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was just like,
And it's
oh,
weird that
man.
Chris calls it chessmate too. Which is really strange.
What sport is
All right, all right.
checkermate?
You guys want to hop into a next section of the show? I like to call Seasons Riddles.
Oh
Yes.
boy.
Season's riddles.
Fan of the show.
Oh God.
Fan of the show, and another host of the show, and another person named Matt. Let us know that we haven't done Seasons Riddles enough.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So-
God.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah, bring it back for chess.
My favorite section.
Remind the
So,
fans and me of the
Matt.
rules.
So what Seasons Riddles is, and I'm gonna tell a Seasons or otherwise not Seasons based riddle.
I forget when season's riddles.
I remember
started.
when Chris introduced.
Oh, maybe
it.
outdoor
It
activities?
was so funny.
I don't know.
And
Or catch or something.
I don't
I don't remember what
It
episode
started with a
Season's Riddles-
seasonal episode, I'm sure.
fall activity.
No, we did.
Yeah, what season?
Fall
is
activities
this?
was the first one. Then we did.
Yeah.
Did we did summer activities? Didn't we? I don't know.
I don't know. Okay.
I think you did.
So I'm gonna say a riddle,
I don't really care.
and you're gonna have to tell me whoever chimes up with the answer
Mm.
is the victor.
Okay.
June. Like Andy.
So, all right, Seasons Riddles.
Deep cut.
Question 1. There are 3 questions. Question 1. Though dominated by Carlson and Nakamura it may be, its country of origin is different entirely. Well, force. The question I ask of this fine game of skill and art is what country do scholars say it did start?
Oh, good question.
Good question.
I would say
Spain is incorrect.
Oh, okay.
I'll say Italy.
I'd like you to leave now. Italy?
Yeah.
Chris, follow Matt out the door. Incorrect.
One more.
Uh-oh.
France.
Incorrect. 2 potential answers. Most people say India.
Ooh.
Some say China.
Dang.
I would have taken both.
Yeah,
okay.
France was not a good guess.
I just was
So
thinking of Rai
so-
Lopez again.
What I think, I've heard it started in India,
Mm.
and it was a completely different game. Same basics, where it's like kind of like a war-based game, like you have to take over the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it moved to like Europe and England, it got the shape of what the pieces are now. I think
Mhm.
some of the pieces changed their movements, or like
Yeah.
you know.
It was updated.
A lot of people are against. Fun fact here: a lot of people are against how aggressive the queen is,
Oh, really?
because
Too much?
because it used to be the queen was just basically another king almost.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I
And
remember that. I
now
remember
it's
hearing
like
about that.
insanely. I like how
It's the most powerful piece.
Oh yeah, I
by far.
remember that. Imagine,
No,
imagine
hearing.
if
I said hearing. I said hearing.
imagine if like next week one piece in chess like it changes
The pawns
its,
Yeah.
can't
its
move
rules.
anymore.
The pawns can move backwards.
But I
and
think
forwards.
that's insane. Like the queen being so powerful is so important to how we play chess now.
Yeah.
Think of it as a completely different piece. The
Mhm.
the games would be so different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question 2. Man versus beast, an honorable foe. But man versus computer may be tougher, wouldn't you know? Kasparov lined up to challenge a machine whose programs are said to be dastardly keen. My question I asked to my co-hosts and friends of sorts is what was the name of the machine
Stockfish.
who bested Kasparov at this sport?
Stockfish.
No, you're wrong. It's Deep
Matt,
Blue.
I would like Matt to step
Deep
out.
Blue.
Wait,
Andrew,
it's not Stockfish?
Correct.
Deep Blue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Deep
Deep
Blue.
Blue.
Because
I've heard
Kasparov
that
definitely lost
before.
to Stockfish at one point.
So
Probably
Kasparov
later.
played something. I think it was also Deep Blue. He played some IBM computer first and won, and then they challenged him to a rematch, and he lost. And he said there was some foul play involved.
Yeah, I remember
he
Kasparov
whined
being
like a
really
baby.
mad.
It was
crazy.
Deep Blue, man.
That's crazy to think.
Stockfish is
Deep
more
Blue.
modern. Yeah.
Okay.
It's crazy to think losing to a computer and being like, dang, I think a human was behind this. Because now it's like, I'll lose to a human and be like, I think a computer
yeah.
was behind
That's
this.
so funny.
That's exactly what
And that's something
happened,
that does happen.
That's
You know
just-
what? You know what I want for like an IBM commercial. You know those Watson commercials where it's
Yeah.
Watson talking to someone. I want Carlson in the room
Ugh.
and Watson just talking trash.
I like that. It's crazy because
Yes.
like that's not going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
Humans are not
Yeah.
going to beat the best computers
No,
at chess
no.
ever.
Well, that's why it was such a big deal because it had gone along for so long, and a computer was able to beat a human,
Yep.
and it was just like, whoa,
Yeah.
where are we?
What term in sports derived from chess is based on a piece some say is one of the best? A first-year player, maybe not so strong, is named after a piece so defensively brawn.
A rookie?
Rook.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. I read it online. I read it online, but I don't think it's true. It's because the
I could
rooks
see that.
because the rook takes so long to get playing time, basically. So a rookie is going to stay on the bench for a long
that's
time.
fun.
Oh.
A rook is going to come into the game late.
That's true.
That's
Fun
good.
fact for you guys.
That's good.
That's a good one.
That
Alright.
is a fun fact.
You guys want to get into ratings?
Yeah,
Please.
let's get into ratings.
Yes.
No riddles and ratings. Thank
No.
God.
No.
So for fans of the show and Matt, we do
I'm a
ratings on a scale
Not today. No.
for the ratings for the hobby challenge on activity on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. Then we give it a yay or nay if we're going to continue this hobby. So Matt, you want to start?
Oh God. Okay.
Honorable guest.
A lot of pressure. All right. Coming into the podcast, I wasn't necessarily sure what I would give it. I knew kind of the range, but wasn't 100% sure. Now I think I'm 100% sure. I'm gonna be bold. I think when I was on the marathon episode, I gave it an 8.5 yay, which is like pretty high rating.
Feel free to explain your reasoning too. You don't have to rush through your rating, man.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, like I have gone through periods of time recently where I am just like, no doubt about it, obsessed with chess.
Yep,
Like
nice.
I've been watching videos on videos. Like I do have some books, and I've just been like, Andrew and I played like so much over
Yeah,
winter
we
break.
got like a cool roll-up
Yeah.
chessboard with big
Yeah.
pieces.
Yeah, it's-
Tournament
yeah.
style, right?
I played
with
on that.
like we play with like
tournament
each
style.
other, we play with other people, and I just like I love the aspect of it where no matter how good I am in this current moment, which is not very, like there's always so much you can improve, and like you can get
the
like
potential of the
so
hobby.
much better. Yeah, the potential of the hobby is just leading me to like my inevitable high rating of 9.
Whoa.
Yay.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever stop playing chess in my lifetime.
So you think you'll be playing like how regularly do you say you play now, and will you be playing in the future?
Sorry, say it again.
How like you play like a game a day? Do you play
Oh.
a game a week?
I usually do tactics every day at
Okay,
least.
wow.
I don't necessarily play a game every day because with my chess.com account, I don't have like the diamond membership, which gives you unlimited tactics. So I only have a limited amount of tactics. So I do the limited amount that I have every day, and the tactics are rated. So if you get better at them, the tactics get harder.
Yeah,
So
I
I
think
still
that's
feel like
great.
I'm improving when I do that.
Yeah.
So I do the tactics every day. I probably play a game every 2 days.
Nice.
I would say.
That's pretty
So
good.
yeah,
I think you'll
I think
continue that.
I think I will continue that. I think, yeah, on my deathbed, I'll be like, nurse, I'm going to en passant that piece.
I love the opposite.
Yeah.
All right. Andrew?
Crazy way to end this world, living in this world. All right. I will say, for some of the reasons that Matt enjoyed it so much is where I will not like it so much. So I had a really interesting relationship with chess and that is, I think it's such a beautiful game. As I mentioned earlier, it's really like mathematically pleasing. It's a great game to play. It's a ton of fun. But at the same time, and I've said this to you guys before off pod, we are true hobbyists. Honestly, like us three,
Yep.
Matt, stay out of this one.
Yep.
We are hobbyists. Like actually, we spend so much time doing a bunch of different hobbies. And even before this podcast, I feel like we talked about random hobbies and stuff that we did.
Yep.
And I can't be tied down, I'm a polyamorous hobby guy. Like
I love it, yeah.
to play chess, we always bring this one up, but Rubik's Cube, like we got pretty good at Rubik's Cubing, and then we hit a wall where if we put so much time into Rubik's Cubing, we could get better. I'm okay with the place that I got. I'd like to do other hobbies. With chess, like Matt was saying, I don't want to be reading these opening books. I don't want to be like spending so much time doing this. Like I could play for like an hour or two a day and like lose rating because I just lose like 2 games. It's too much work for me to continue training to get better. With that being said, I really do like playing. I really am proud of the improvement that I've had like from doing this hobby for such a long time. And I do enjoy it a lot, but that big thing is like if we had done this episode and I had only played for a week, I would have given it a 9, for sure. But now I'm going to give it a 7 nay, which is a strange rating. But I really do like chess, but I'm not going to be continuing to play chess very frequently. I just think that I'd rather like read a book or do another hobby because it's too much work for me. Like basically every time that I play chess now, I tend to get more frustrated because it's just too much. Like I'm not able to get better without putting in more effort than I'm comfortable with.
I'm with you, yeah.
7.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Chris, let's hear it.
Okay, so I'll say when we started this, I got into it pretty quickly and pretty like invested in it.
Yeah.
I think you were at a good level when we started where it's like that.
Yeah.
I want to
Real
say a
quick.
Chris story
Yeah.
real quick because I feel like I keep getting called out, but now it's my turn to get back at Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Chris goes on chess.com, makes an account, plays very frequently, does all right, starts doing poorly, starts losing a ton of games, gets upset with his rating, then decides that his rating is so low that he's going to create a new account because he's so much better now to get his rating up.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, that's not how it works. Just beat those scrubs at the terrible levels and you'll get better.
Let me explain
But at
this.
the same time, it's like
It's frustrating. It's because I was.
You
So,
should have been beating those guys, though. You should.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
All right, let me explain.
All right.
So, thanks, Andrew. So
I'll take it from here.
When I started, I think I was like okay at chess for someone who didn't play much.
Mm-hmm.
I around like Christmas time was very into it. I have this memory. I was at Christmas dinner at my grandma's, just like on like some website reading like opening strategies, and my family's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Yeah, you're really into chess." And then,
Chris,
like,
you texting a girl? Oh.
oh God, no.
Who's Roy Lopez?
But I was reading, and I wasn't like, I was taking some of it in, but I feel like in order to get a lot better, I'd really need to like sit down and study.
Yeah.
And I don't think that I really like have the time. I mean, I could make the time to do it, but I think with kind of how my hobbies lie right now, like there was a period of time where usually after work I'll go to the gym, I'll make dinner.
Yeah.
At that point it's like 8:30.
And you might play some chess.
And at that point I was playing chess every day.
That's awesome.
And I had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
But now I'm thinking I'll maybe play every few days or once a week.
Yeah.
And at that rate, I don't think I'm getting much better. The thing that frustrated me was when I started, so you get your ranking system in this chess.com app. I was in like the 300s, which is very low. And it was like, because essentially I played 3 or 4 games, lost all of them badly, got down 200 points each time.
There was opening theory written called the Chris State opening, but it was just never play this opening.
So then I do some research, I get better. I went on a streak where I won, I want to say it was like 22 straight games.
Jeez, dude.
And
That's
well,
awesome.
if you were at
I
like
can't believe the ecstasy. I would feel so good about myself.
So then I go from 300
great.
to 400, which is still not good.
Yeah.
Then I get into the situation
it's the
where
flaw
like,
of chess.com. honestly.
occasionally
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
playing other people who are, I mean, in a similar spot as me, so they're all right. I don't know. It was just borderline impossible to get up, so I started a new one.
It's frustrating, yeah.
Now I have like a higher rank, but again, I'm not like playing often.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of stabilizing, and I don't think that I'm gonna take the time, at least right now, with kind of what I've been doing to get a lot better. But I do want to keep playing. I think I'm gonna go with, and like Andrew said, I think if we did this episode 3 weeks ago, it maybe
higher,
would be
right?
9. But I think I gotta go with a 6.5. Yay! I'll keep playing. But I probably won't do much research. I guess.
Alex?
Good ratings all around. Chess, yeah, I gotta agree with everyone here. There are little bits of everyone's
Yeah,
reviews
yeah.
that
Yeah.
I agree hearing
Matt,
everything.
All one review.
It's a beautiful game.
Combine all of us.
love for the game. I love. It's a great game. Andrew, you're right. Like, if I want to get better at chess, like, I have to take a week off work, dedicate myself to go up like 10 points on chess.com. It's not worth it. Chris, I've never been rated that low. No, but
Would never play with a pawn like
I
you.
mean, there are times where I thought like, dang, there's a chance this could be my highest rated hobby. Then there are times where I would like blunder and lose, or like multiple games in a row I would lose on stupid mistakes, and I would think like, this is a waste of time. What am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. A few weeks ago, especially around Christmas time, I was loving it.
Yeah.
Great game. I've had these periods in my life where I get really into chess, like you said, Matt. Like you get super into it,
Yeah.
and
It's like obsessive.
it's a wave for me. I get super into it for a little bit, then I mellow out, and then I get super into it, but because I'm building off the foundation that I was super into before, I get
Yeah.
that much better.
Yeah.
Then I mellow out a little bit, and then I get that much better, even hopefully again. But I don't know. And the other thing I wanted to bring up is that chess it's disrespected by the layperson. I feel like.
Yeah, I
like
agree.
we're playing at a party of sorts, and what's the big deal? Not a party, but like a gathering of people.
Yeah.
What's the big deal? We want to have fun and play chess. That shouldn't matter. Like I've said to these
Yeah, like
guys
it wasn't
before.
like we were being like, "Hey, let's go in the other room and play chess while these people hang."
We were
out.
still
Like,
hanging out
we
and
were
talking. It was
we
just
were
what we
hanging
were
out
doing.
talking. Like,
Yeah.
it was just like to start. We barely even. We were just pre-gaming. Like we were just
Yeah,
starting.
it was not a big deal. It's
Yeah.
it's like someone playing video games. Like
Yeah.
just sitting down and having fun. What's the big deal? I told you guys this story. Matt, you might not know this story.
Probably not.
But I was texting someone, texting a girl, and this other girl next to me was like, "Oh, what are you gonna do?" But I had my chess.com app up because I was playing. Or she's like, "What are you gonna? What's your next move or something?" About the girl.
Yeah,
So I was like, I made a joke and I was like, "Oh, I'm thinking maybe move my rook up." And then she goes, "You should never talk chess to a girl." I was like, "What are you saying? Like it's just something that people do." First of all, it was a clear joke.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have a podcast. like, why does it have that stigma? That
Know
makes
what
no
I do in
sense.
5
Yeah,
to
it-
9.
It is
Because
disrespected.
if
by-
I
by
played
the
video
regular people.
games and I was like,
the layperson,
and I was like, "Oh, I can't believe I just got this double kill or whatever," would that have that much of a stigma? No, because people are into that.
Or
stuff.
even if you're just watching TV, you know what I mean?
Yeah, talk
That's
about a
absolutely
show or
yeah, if
something.
you
Yeah.
talked about like binge watching Netflix,
Yeah.
right? That's in right now. So it's
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
I just binge
What's
watched
the difference
show,
between
like,
watching 4 hours of TV,
right?
playing 4 hours of video games,
yeah,
or
playing
playing 4 hours
It's
of
almost
chess?
like
Perfect,
how
dude,
it's
perfect.
almost like how I felt judged when people found out that I don't like football or something. It's like, why does that matter?
Yeah.
Same with chess. It should be. It's a positive hobby in my life. Don't judge me based off of it.
Yeah.
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 Amen. Dude.
So maybe that knocks it down a rating. Maybe that makes me tied to it even stronger. I don't know.
Edge of my seat.
I'm gonna go 8.5. Yay! I'm gonna
Wow.
keep playing.
Nice.
I think daily chess is a great way, and tactics are a great way to keep chess in your life. Like I sit down for a bit, say I have a break at work. I'm gonna pull up my tactics. I'm gonna check out what
Yeah,
games I have
do that
going.
a lot at lunch.
Daily chess is great because you don't have to stress out, especially if you do even more than one day. You could do like a week long between moves.
See, but what I would argue with daily chess is that I was able to play blitz. I completely focused on chess. I'm
Yeah.
playing daily chess every time. I have to like, all right, what was I
It's
doing
tough.
before?
I
Yeah.
think
my
it's-
plan.
I think
Yeah.
I think maybe it's tough to the way I'm doing it now, where it's like I'm gonna sit down when I have a break. I'm not really dedicating myself to chess. It's gonna be tough to improve. But I think I'm reaching this point in my life where I'm going off of the super into chess. So maybe if I keep playing a little bit, next time I get into chess, if I do, I'm gonna get that much better. Hopefully.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Good
cool.
ratings all around, guys.
I'll just say we're running kind of long, so after the next segment, I think we should just let the guest of honor go, and we'll save
I'm
our
cool with that.
what's on your minds
All
for
right.
later.
Well,
Oh,
speaking
man.
of the next segment, next segment of the show is What's on Your Mind. We like to start off with a little theme song from a listener submitter. This one, let me read the notes. Comes from Stock F.
I wanna be your end game. I wanna be your first string. I wanna be your A team. I wanna be your end game, end game. Big reputation.
All right, thanks, Mr. Fish. This is What's on Your Mind. So in What's on Your Mind, we like to talk about, well, frankly, what's on our mind. Matt, what's on
Yes.
your mind?
All right. This is something I noticed earlier today. I think I brought up to Andrew before, maybe, but
I'm sure.
so I was driving just along the road near here, and I saw a sign that said "Falling Rocks." Should that be a bigger deal in my head than like
I know
it
what sign you're
seems
talking
to
about,
be?
too.
Because
That's good.
there's one right down the road, and it's just like, should I be looking out for a boulder?
Yeah, what do you do?
Is this live?
What are
What
we
do you-
talking pebbles? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, what are you supposed
That's
to
just like
do?
a sign. Yeah, like I feel like that's like a similar sign. If you saw a sign that said like active volcano, like I'd probably be like, oh crap. But like
Yeah.
with falling rocks, it's more like, well, fine. You know?
But like with deer, you see a
It's a
deer
weird
crossing
sign.
sign. It's like, all right, maybe I'll slow down a little.
yeah.
Look
If
to
you
like
slow
around.
down a
but
little
like,
or
right,
speed
same with
up, it's not gonna make a
active volcano,
difference.
falling rocks, like hey,
With the
you
rocks-
might, you might be screwed.
With
so.
rocks,
Yeah,
if you
there's
slow
nothing
down,
you
you're
can do.
probably hurting yourself.
Exactly.
Should I be speeding?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what are they gonna not put that sign up?
Right. So I
They
just
did
didn't know.
rocks.
But like, what happened that made them put the sign up?
That's
Someone's
true.
car get like drilled by a
Yeah.
rock. Like,
I wonder if
don't know.
that takes away any liability from them. Like, well, we told you.
Yeah,
It's
like,
like-
we had a sign.
I wonder. I would assume they put it up before any rocks have fallen, any serious rocks have fallen. But did they put it up near like certain type of rock? A
Yeah.
cliffside,
Yeah, like a
perhaps?
cliffside that might collapse. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like they shouldn't have put this road there then.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now when I drive past the falling rock sign, I'm just like,
You have to get your hard hat out.
do
for
I have
God's
like,
sakes.
what should I do? Should
Yeah.
I be concerned?
Yeah,
Should I
it's
not?
the
I
same.
don't
Yeah,
know.
another example of that maybe is like bridge may be icy. Like no, that's like better, I guess. But
Because
it's
you can
still
slow
like,
down stuff.
but it's still like like hey, like we can't really clear the bridge.
I almost
Like,
think-
you might
Yeah.
Good
be
luck.
you might lose control. Like,
I almost think
yeah.
you know how if you get a GPS and you go on Google Maps, it'll say like, "Oh, do you want to avoid tolls?" It should say, "Do you want to avoid falling rocks?" Like,
Yeah, you
There's
want
a
to avoid
sign
some
that
that
says
you
full
can.
of
Like,
rocks.
Do you want to
they're
avoid moose?
yeah.
Yeah. Try to go to like Maine or
Maine.
Vermont.
They're
It's
like, "You're screwed."
Good
here's the take every toll highway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Matt.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's,
it's good.
That's
It's
what's
good.
on my mind.
Yeah.
If anyone else has a submission for what's on your mind, just email us in.
Mhm.
Don't be shy. I need hobbypod@gmail.com.
Nice.
All right, Chris, you want to hit us with these plugs?
Of course I do. So, if you like this episode, check out some more on ineedahobbypod.com. Hit up our iTunes. You can listen to it there. And while listening, if you're not on your chefs.com app, you can leave your little review, a nice little rate and review.
Not,
That's
a,
what you-
not a
one.
sponsor.
Yep.
have you left one, Matt?
I have left one.
Have you left one, Andrew?
0 stars.
I won't say because that would make us sound
I
a little
left
phony.
one. I left
Yeah.
one a few weeks ago that said not enough chest-based episodes, but I think I'll probably go.
Yeah.
and
And
delete
leave
it
another
after
one.
this.
Yeah.
Well, at least
I
I'll
gave
edit
that. I gave that a thumbs up.
And the rest of the reviews I've done, so we need some more. You can also find our social media, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, I Need Hobby Pod. And hey, keep listening.
See you next week.